Imagine a peaceful suburb shattered by a brutal dawn raid, a husband's morning coffee interrupted by men in fake uniforms, his wife dragged outside in handcuffs until a shocking revelation changes everything. Secrets spill, loyalties tested, and a hidden sheriff faces down imposter officers in front of the whole neighborhood. Stay tuned for forged letters, late-night trespass, a high-stakes HOA showdown, and a final heart-pounding takedown. So if you like stories like this, like and subscribe for more. I hadn't been long awake when the pounding began, so fierce I thought the doorframe might splinter. Morning light filtered through the kitchen window as I stood in my robe, coffee in hand. "Daniel Walker," a voice boomed. "Open up, your wife is under arrest." I glanced at Sarah, who emerged from the hallway tying her hair back. Her eyes asked, "What now?" I set my mug down and peered through the side glass. 4 men filled our porch, their dark blue shirts, stamped in block letters, HOA Inspector, tactical pants, black boots, even faux sidearms. This felt less like code enforcement and more like a raid team. I cracked the door, chain on. The leader, tall, smug, was Greg Morrison, our neighbor from across the street. He'd once been friendly, helping me fix a leaky pipe and greeting us on evening walks. Now he stood in a ball cap and wraparound sunglasses, commanding authority he never earned. "Step aside," he said. "We've received credible reports of a security threat. Your wife must come with us." "Questioning by the HOA?" I asked. He smiled coldly and nodded toward his team. "We'll do this the easy way or the hard way." Behind him, his inspectors shifted with unease. One coughed, another scanned the street as Mrs. Jenkins peered through her curtains. Sarah joined me at the door, calm in her gray workout jacket. "May I see a warrant?" she asked softly, forcing him to hesitate. "Search? Arrest? Anything?" Greg's smirk deepened. "I don't need paperwork to keep this place safe." He brushed his fingers near his pistol. Sarah's posture stiffened in a way I'd only seen when she handled real danger. "Daniel," she said, eyes on him, "call the sheriff's office. Tell them 4 armed impersonators are on our doorstep." Greg's face flickered, anger or fear. He barked, "You're making a mistake." But he fell silent when, from 2 houses down, a camera shutter clicked. I had no idea this moment would unravel our peaceful life and reveal secrets I never suspected. 2 years earlier, peace and quiet had been all Sarah and I wanted. We left San Diego's rush for Oakwood Heights, uniform lawns, tree-lined streets, neighbors who waved on twilight strolls. Our craftsman-style home at the end of a cul-de-sac had room for me to tinker in the garage and space for Sarah's backyard workout rig. In those early weeks, Greg Morrison was our protector, a local cop who chaired the HOA safety committee. His black and white cruiser outside his house felt like extra insurance. Then came the fence. We replaced a warped wooden barrier with a 6-foot iron fence, completely legal by city code. But the day the crew arrived, Greg's friendliness evaporated. He planted himself on his lawn, arms folded, watching every board erected. His wife sidestepped our hellos. One evening he knocked in a dark polo with a faux badge. "Could you lower that fence to 4 feet? It blocks my view." I explained our permits and the city limits. He said it was about HOA harmony. I felt uneasy but dismissed it, until a thick envelope arrived in our mailbox. Letterhead from a law firm accusing us of violating community standards, threatening $500 daily fines. When I called the firm, they'd never sent it. Someone had forged their letterhead. Sarah studied the fake notice for a moment, silent. "We're within our rights," she said. Then she took out her phone, made calls I couldn't catch. "Complicated," she told me later. Suddenly, neighbors who once waved crossed the street when they saw us. Anonymous notes appeared, polite pleas to consider community interests, then sharper warnings about outsiders. Sarah collected each scrap in labeled Ziploc bags, filing them away. And Greg escalated. He held an emergency HOA meeting on our sidewalk, complete with a folding chair and a sign, Neighborhood Security Chairman. Two inspectors carried clipboards. He denounced our fence as a security hazard, then dropped the bomb. Sarah Walker works at a classified facility. She could be a national security risk. Whispers rolled through the gathered crowd. I stood by the window, fists clenched. Sarah placed a hand on my arm. He just made his biggest mistake. Looking back, I didn't realize how prepared she was. I only saw the tough exterior of my wife, the one I'd known as a private security consultant. I didn't know she'd spent 15 years in law enforcement, 10 in the sheriff's office, elected sheriff last year. She'd kept it hidden so her enemies wouldn't find her home. 2 nights later at 2 a.m., the power cut out. The crunch of boots on gravel, low voices, a gate latch. Figures in tactical pants and HOA shirts appeared under our porch light. I peered through the curtains, SWAT-style gear complete with sidearms. Greg led them, flashlights sweeping our windows. Sarah stood at the top of the steps, unhurried. She flipped on the porch light, locked eyes with him, then unlocked the door but held it chained. "Gentlemen, may I help you?" Greg barked. "HOA inspection. We have reports of suspicious activity. Let us in." She smiled coolly. "Your paperwork?" His swagger faltered. "I'm a law enforcement officer." "Name and badge number?" she asked. He hesitated. She took a half step forward, revealing a small silver sheriff's star pinned to her collar. "This is me being polite," she said. "You're trespassing with firearms at 2 a.m. Without a warrant, that's felony." Daniel called the sheriff's office. Greg's face went red. He ordered his men back, spat, "It's not over," and they melted into the dark. 5 minutes later, the lights flickered on. Inside, I demanded, "Who are you?" She poured coffee. Steam curled. "I'm Sarah Walker, sheriff of this county." My world tipped. "Sheriff? 15 years in law enforcement. I didn't tell you to protect our home." I sank into a chair. So all those phone calls. Complex investigations. I handle threats too big for most of us. She met my eyes. Greg thought he could intimidate us. He chose the wrong house. The next morning, she was at her laptop, eyes sharp. She showed me state records. No Greg Morrison. He was Gregory Mitchell, arrested for impersonating police in Arizona and Nevada, sued for intimidation. He'd slid through HOA boards from state to state, pushing families to sell for a real estate investor named Victor Hale, who profited by flipping properties. "So it's not just money," I said. "Control," she said, "were his next mark." She set up miniature cameras, one in our maple tree, one under the eaves, one inside by the door, motion-activated night vision, audio. By dusk, she drafted a fictitious county memo about a sensitive asset relocation, left it on her open laptop. Before dawn, the maple tree camera caught Mitchell photographing it through our window. That afternoon, she called Captain Rodriguez, a retired FBI agent ally. He confirmed. Hale's operation spans 6 states, targeting military and law enforcement families. If we could link Mitchell's intimidation to Hale shell corporations, they'd have federal charges. We baited deeper. A fake delivery notice posted in the HOA chat, hinting at equipment arriving late at night. Within hours, Mitchell was on our lawn again, phone glued to his ear. She filed the footage. Then came the public show, a Saturday afternoon gathering of our neighbors. Mitchell stood before 30 people, 2 faux inspectors at his side, railing against our fence and accusing Sarah of endangering national security. She stepped forward in a simple blazer. "Greg, show us your badge number." He laughed it off. She clicked her tablet, projecting the county's actual roster, no Morrison. Next slide, proof of a costume badge purchase shipped to his address. Then a still from our garage camera showing him spying at dawn. Finally, his own recorded words. "We'll get them out before the delivery date." Gasps spread. Chairs shifted. Mitchell's composure crumbled. He drew his pistol, shouting for quiet. A woman screamed. The weapon fired once in the air. Neighbors dove back. But Sarah was ready. In a blur, she stepped in, grabbed his wrist, twisted his arm, forced him to his knees. With a swift maneuver, she cuffed him with zip ties. Silence fell, then applause. "Greg Mitchell," she intoned, "you're under arrest for impersonation, assault with a deadly weapon, and conspiracy." Deputies arrived minutes later, called by Daniel. They took the gun, escorted Mitchell away. Two of his accomplices had slipped off. Sarah directed me to tell the sheriff's office they were armed and fleeing. In the days that followed, the task force raided Mitchell's home and Hale's offices. Files, hard drives, duffels of fake badges came out in boxes. Two guard wannabes in another county flipped on Mitchell, pointing to Hale as the mastermind. Hale himself was arrested at a Nevada airstrip. Local news tiptoed onto our street. The HOA sting splashed across headlines. Sarah offered one statement: "No uniform, no matter how official-looking, authorizes intimidation. Speak up when something feels wrong." Oakwood Heights healed. The HOA rewrote its bylaws. Any security role now demands verifiable credentials. Sarah declined a leadership post. "Real power is shared," she told neighbors at the first Reformed meeting. She did teach monthly safety classes: how to spot fake badges, how to document threats, how to protect a community. Life settled into its new rhythm, though reminders surfaced. A postcard of a Virginia cul-de-sac slid under our door. "You stopped. One, there are more." Sarah filed it away. I caught her late one night at her laptop, mapping addresses I didn't recognize. "Still tracking," she said, offering only a small, determined smile. "Now, when I sip coffee at dawn, I know Michael Gregory Morrison, alias Greg Mitchell, underestimated my wife. Sarah Walker isn't just a private consultant. She's sheriff, elected to protect this county, sworn to expose imposters. And in Oakwood Heights, she changed the rules forever. If you'd like more stories like these, please like and subscribe.